Let's talk about love of country.
Yeah.
What your country means to you.
When I think back in the time that my grandfather was alive, I remember talking to him about his family immigrating from Finland and coming to the United States and moving to Salt Lake, and he didn't speak English, and it was sort of like this difficult time. And I remember him saying that when he was in the war, like he felt this sense of he was very privileged to have been the first generation of his family in the United States. On my mom's side of the family, there were multiple generations. She was born in Indiana to a farming community, and both of her parents had been multiple generations out there. But the same kind of sentiment. They felt like living in America was the best chance for success, the best chance to raise a family, the best environment that you could possibly be a part of. And so I grew up with those people as examples, my grandparents, and then passing that down to my parents. And so I just have this very profound sense of gratitude, sense of love, sense of appreciation for the things that I had. And I think that was only amplified by living abroad for 2 years. And then I think the other thing is, when you study the history of our country and the unique foundation of our country and how we are as a country as far as like bringing on board all of these different people from different cultures, from different countries. And, we have to appreciate that. There's a reason that people have aggregated here because this is the epicenter of democracy in the world. And when you learn that and when you learn the foundations of that and you learn to appreciate that, I think it's impossible not to feel a sense of like we need to defend that. We're a nation that espouses the values of liberty, fraternity, and equality. That's who we are. So sort of like the founding fathers in writing the Constitution and the way that they ran the Continental Congress and the sort of test runs that they did in the lead up to writing the Constitution and even sort of breaking away from Great Britain for all the reasons that we did, that there is a certain degree of divine inspiration in that, the hand of God guiding sort of our founding fathers to be able to create this enduring document in the Constitution. And certainly I think, if we wrote a Constitution today, I'd be hard pressed to believe it would last 25 years because it would be so partisan and so divisive and everybody wouldn't be on board. And here you had this group of essentially young men, very young, some of them, who were part and parcel to forging this document that's lasted better than 200 years, as it has guided a country through all kinds of technological advancements and exponential growth and expansion and acquisition of the rest of the country beyond the 13 colonies. And for me, coming from a Christian background, it's really hard for me not to see the hand of divinity in that as sort of a guiding force. And so it's always sort of been my own personal belief that as long as we are a nation that espouses those values of goodness and righteousness and service and, the golden rule, for lack of a better word, doing unto your brothers as you would have them do unto you, and just being good human beings, if we lose sight of that, then we lose our country. I think it was Ben Franklin who said our system of government is a republic as long as we can keep it. It's a difficult system to hold on to, and you have to remember that a republic only exists in the form of a republic as long as the people that it governs are righteous. Lasting happiness comes from service and gratitude. And I think it's not just gratitude because we have all this stuff, gratitude because we live a truly blessed life in an incredibly free country, the freest, most opportunistic, most diverse, most blessed country, and not just in recent history, but in the history of the world, in the history of humanity. It's a truly, truly unique time and place that we live, and I think too often we overlook those things. So I think my message would be, number one, be grateful for the things that we have. Take time each day to study, to learn about our country, to go out, experience the country, to be out in the cities and communities that you live in, to serve the people who are around you. It doesn't have to be military service. It doesn't have to be public service. But I do find people who lay a lot on the line, police officers, firefighters, public servants, military, tend to have, even though we've sacrificed a lot, and some of those guys have been badly hurt, but come home and still have a tremendous sense of gratitude for the fact that they were able to serve. And that confuses people because you don't understand it, because you didn't do it. But I feel like even with all of the loss and all of the hardship that I've been through over 22 years, what I come away with is just this sense of gratitude that I'm incredibly blessed to live here. I'm incredibly blessed to be able to serve and to have served and to be able to have worked with the people that I worked with. So I think that's it. Seek opportunities to serve, seek opportunities to make yourself better. Stop looking inward and start looking outward. Be grateful for the things that you have.
Great jump. The exit is exhilarating, it's intense. It's not, I feel like it's different than exiting out of a free fall aircraft. But yeah, great exit. Couldn't ask for a better day, better weather. Easy all the way down. It's a good jump. Been carrying this with me on every jump. This is my grandfather, Karl Gustavson, navigator on B-29 bombers. And these are unit patches, rank patch. Man, it's just incredible to be able to come here and commemorate, you know, the men who jumped here, but also, you know, my grandparents who both served, both grandfathers, one in the Navy and one in the Army Air Corps. We're here today dressed as Army Airborne to honor the men who jumped here 80 years ago, but also we never fail to represent.
What we'll do, we'll go down the line here and present the wings. I will salute you. And I'm going to pin these on you. What I do like to do is make sure I get in there. And again,
Thank you, sir.
You got some pecs under there?
I think you can find the bone probably. Get deep enough.
Very good. And big man here, who we got?
Rob.
Rob?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Sully.
Sully.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. It's an honor. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'll get to
Fred Williams, sir.
Thank you, sir.
What an honor to be a part of
Gus.
Gus.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
There it is. Thank you.
This is a pleasure, you know
Give a
that.
little tap on all this. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The service in the military prepares you in unique ways for any job, any venture, anything that you might do. And whether you do, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 22 years, it gives you a unique skill set in an environment that's so dynamic and so complex, it's difficult to replicate in any other industry. Whether you do ROTC and use it to leverage that to pay for college, whether you use it to travel, see the world, learn new things, all these different kind of things, I think there's a lot of avenues that you can take. And you may end up like me, where I thought 6 years, a couple deployments, do my time, feel like I served. And 22 years later, I'm sitting here saying, wow, that went really fast. And I learned more than I could possibly encapsulate in one conversation.